Midtown woes why this Orem mixed-use complex could end up in the hands of the city.
Vamping. Meet the BYU students who are competing on national television tonight.
And dodging differences. How this playground game is bringing students together for a better cause during rivalry week. I'm Brian Grimmett.
And I'm Angela Santos. It's Monday, September 19th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
Midtown Village in Orem is once again in danger of foreclosure. The city originally touted the project as possibly shaping the future of State Street, but now says the defunct project doesn't have the renters or other income to pay the bills. The project owes the city $430,000 annually to pay the bond the city sold to fund Midtown's underground parking. The city gets the property if it forecloses. Provo will no longer pay millions of dollars to keep what was iProvo in business. Instead, the mayor wants utility customers to take over the job. Provo City Council is deciding whether customers will pay a flat rate of around $8 the issue at tomorrow night's meeting at City Hall.
4 days of digging in the desert for missing mother Susan Powell didn't lead to human remains. Instead, cadaver dogs detected about 100 pieces of charred wood. Police say the wood likely came in contact with blood or decomposing flesh. The Utah State Medical Examiner's Office will now determine whether or not the wood has to do with the Powell case.
President Obama will announce a new plan today that raises taxes on people making more than $100 million a year. The president calls it the Buffett rule after billionaire Warren Buffett. It would ensure that the millionaires will pay the same taxes as middle-income earners. Republican leaders say that the new rule punishes job creators and hurts the economy.
A BYU performance group is headed to national television tonight where they could win $100,000. Vocal Point will show off their a cappella stylings on the Sing Off on NBC at 7. The singers say the show is a dream come true and is worth the sacrifice of being full-time students with demanding schedules and in the competition. They call it a chance to show the nation that Mormons are normal people who can have fun. Holy War rival for children whose parents have cancer. 11 News reporter Brianna Carr dipped and dived to bring us the story.
The sting of a dodgeball is pretty painful, but for BYU and University of Utah students, it's a small sacrifice to give back to parents and children going through so much.
They ducked, dived, dipped, and dodged for something more than just rivalry, attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the largest dodgeball game ever. Dodgeballs in rapid fire rained down blue and red. Like a true holy war, there were casualties and celebrations. But unlike a holy war, this was about more than just a dodgeball victory. Students and fans dodged for Camp Kesem donations. Camp Kesem is a place for children whose parents are diagnosed with cancer. Camper Tiara Wright says Kesem is just the place to help her escape, at least for a little while.
It means a lot to me to be able to be away from my family and my dad that's sick with cancer.
Doctors diagnosed Tiara's dad with bone marrow cancer and gave him anywhere between 2 weeks and 7 years to live. Now, living 10 years later, Camp Kesem is another miracle for his 8 active children and piles of medical bills.
They've allowed us to do something that we could not do ourselves. There's no way that you can do that.
The fun fundraiser even brought out Murray City Mayor Dan Snar. He suited up in Ute red, ready to bludgeon some cougars. But his true purpose was much different.
Cancer sucks. It really does. And if there's anything we can do to help people become more aware of what they can do to help find a cure, that's what we should all be involved.
BYU won the dodgeball game, but I don't think it really ended. People would get hit and then still stay in the game. I think they finally called BYU the winners because they had twice as many players as the University of Utah. Angela and Brian?
Brianna, thanks. At least BYU won for something.
Yeah.
Dodgeball, if not football.
Yeah.
We just wanted to say we made a little mistake on the Obama story with the new tax. It will be for people who make over $1 million, not $100 million. When 11 News at noon returns, Air show tragedy. What started as a day of fun turned deadly, and new information could tell us what led to the crash.
And Library Lookout. Take a look at a new way to help you quickly find a study buddy in the BYU library. Stay with us.
A vintage plane crashes at a Nevada air show, a lucky survival after a boat explodes in San Diego, and Florida's version of Crocodile Hunter. Here's your look at news from across the nation. No one knows what caused a plane crash in Reno that killed 10 people, but new information may help figure that out. Footage from the plane's camera shows a critical part either damaged or missing, and investigators want to look at the plane's tail to see if it caused the pilot to lose control. 70 people were injured in the crash. A drag boat exploded and broke into pieces at the annual San Diego Bay Fair race yesterday. Mark Porter was driving at speeds around 200 miles an hour when he lost control of his boat and flew into the air. The explosion blew out his protective capsule and threw him into the water. Rescuers quickly got him, and he is in fair condition at the hospital. And a Tennessee woman caught a gator more than 3 times her size. Connie Hancock and her husband bagged an alligator measuring 13 feet long and a whopping 700 pounds on a hunting trip to Florida. Nicknamed Crocodile Connie, Hancock says it took more than an hour to catch the monster and bring it into the marina. Then it was straight to the butcher for that massive gator. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Brian?
A new website has BYU students playing a game that's right out of Harry Potter. 11 News reporter Hanalei Ho is live on campus. So how is this like something in Harry Potter?
Well, Brian, the website allows you to track your friends wherever they are in the library, just like the Marauder's map does in Harry Potter.
The Marauder's map? Hang on. This is Hogwarts. And that... no. Is that really
Dumbledore? In his study. Pacing.
This new website maps out the BYU library and shows exactly where your friends are. You sign in through Facebook, it syncs your friends list, and from there you just drag, drop, and connect. The idea for the website first came to Chase Petrie when he couldn't find people he was looking for.
I was with a bunch of my friends during finals week last year. Then we were like, man, it'd be sweet if there's like a map that just showed where all of your friends were.
He then went searching for someone to help him bring it to life.
I was just thinking, you know what, I would probably use that. And I figure if it was something I would use, then I figure it was something other people would use.
And with such a unique site, they also needed a unique name.
I just remember texting my friend, where in the HBLL and we were just all laughing really hard about it.
Where in the HBLLRU.com is seeing more users every day, and students who use the site say they like having their friends at their fingertips.
I think that the website it's a pretty fun place. It's like Facebook, kind of another distraction from, you know, what we're actually in the library to do.
I think it's really useful. If I don't want to study alone, I can go on there and see which of my friends are on there.
Still in the beginning stages, but they hope to add more features to the website throughout the year.
Hanalei, are they thinking of expanding this idea to the whole campus?
You know, they said they've already bought the domain name Where on Campus Are You, but they say that project is still a ways down the road.
Okay, thank you. When 11 News at noon returns, Down and Dirty, the race that encourages foul play, literally.
Visiting the falls, one of the most beautiful places in Utah, is right up the road.
And fall officially starts this week, but are we ready to cool down? Your 11 weather when we return.
Mud, sweat, and their finest costumes, and they're having fun. 5,000 plus participants attempted to conquer mountains of mud. 11 News reporter Megan Tixon shows us how you can get in on the action.
Teams in tutus, matching t-shirts, and carefully coordinated outfits became thoroughly filthy, running the course of the Dirty Dash. The runners wallowed through mud pits, rolled down a slip and slide, and crawled over and under obstacles full of mud. Some competitors used each other to complete the course.
The hardest part was the walls. There's like 5 walls you had to get over.
We had to help each other out.
Help each other out, teamwork.
Running a 10K may not sound like a lot of fun, but when you get a chance to play in the mud, it becomes a lot more inviting. Most mud runners were just looking for some good, clean fun and got just what they asked for.
So much It was crazy! It's so awesome. It's a blast. Never done anything like it.
Fitness and Filth team up to fill a void in the state's first and only mud run. While it may be more mud wrestling with some running involved, muddy participants of all ages seem to have a great time. In Midway, Megan Tixon, 11 News.
The clean and dirty proceeds go to several local charities. If you missed out, you can still get down and dirty in the part 2 of the Dash this Saturday at 9 at Soldier Hollow in Midway. So it looks like that dirty Dash weather was pretty nice on Saturday.
Yeah, is it gonna stay that way? Is it gonna get colder?
I think we definitely saw some thunderstorms last week, but I think this week you're going to be a little bit more excited for some sunny weather. This morning it was really beautiful. We saw some upper 50s temperatures with 1 or 2 cloud in the skies. Very, very beautiful out there. I was able to wear my shorts and a t-shirt up to campus today. Currently outside it is 61 degrees. It will heat up to about 80 degrees today. The humidity right now is 59%, but it will also cool off and get less wet. Tonight on your commute, when you drive home, it is going to be mostly sunny with a couple clouds in the sky, mid-70s, so definitely pull out your sunglasses this week because it's going to be a very beautiful, beautiful week. The satellite map outside shows that over Canada and over the northwestern states, there was a storm that came into the United States, and down into Utah, we will see a dip in a couple degrees, but won't affect us completely too much, but we will see that just happen today, and in the rest of the week we should be clear skies. Normally at this time of year we're about in the lower 80s, upper 70s, and that's what our high temperatures for today show. 78 in Logan, 78 in Provo, and a whopping 95 degrees in St. George. You guys in St. George, you guys did see some thunderstorms last week and you had to break out your umbrellas, but I'm going to tell you that this week you will be able to take control of your days because it will be sunny outside. Definitely all the way till Thursday, or all the way to Friday, it will be sunny. Lower 90s and upper 60s at night. So you will be able to have fun and have fun in the sunny skies. Monday through Thursday in northern Utah, you will see about the same story in that you saw in St. George, lower 80s and about 60 degrees at night. And on Friday, because it is the first day of fall on September 23rd, it is going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Just a couple clouds in the sky. Definitely we can wear our shorts and our t-shirts and our flip-flops and have tons of fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited, looking forward to some of the good weather that we're having this week.
Yeah, we gotta
maybe get outdoors a little bit.
Yeah,
we can finally pull out our sunglasses again, but yeah. I will say that our sunny days are numbered, so we gotta make sure that we have fun while we can.
Definitely.
Sounds like in sports we had a lot going on this weekend. I think Brian has got some news for us.
We did. Next on sports, the Holy War was in Provo over the weekend, but would the Cougars be able to kickstart their anemic offense and avenge last year's loss? And in the NFL, Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo turns in a memorable performance that you won't want to miss. Coming up next, stay tuned. The Holy War came to Provo over the weekend, and even if it was mid-September instead of mid-November, there was still a lot of pressure on both teams to perform. The stadium was rocking as the Cougars took the field looking to avenge last year's heartbreaking loss, but things didn't start out great. Heaps misses the bad snap here on their very first drive, but instead of falling on it, tries to throw it away, and Utah recovers in the end zone. Utah up 7 early. The Cougars would eventually make a drive down the field, but another turnover. J.J. DeLuigi, this time on the 3-yard line, leaves the Cougars with nothing, but the Cougar D would step it up. Here they keep the Cougars in the game by forcing the fumble. Brandon Ogletree eventually would come up with the ball, and then the offense would finally get going. Here Jake keeps connecting with tight end Austin Holch for the long ball down the middle, which would then set up a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pass to Ross Apo, who I would like to call the future. Cougars finally get up on the board. But even with the 3 early turnovers, the Cougars only go down into the half, down 14-10. But it started to go downhill very quickly once the second half began. Here, fumbling a kickoff after a Utah field goal. Utes would recover, eventually score, and the rout was on. BYU loses big, 54-10, their worst loss to the Utes in more than 40 years. After the game, Jake Heaps would come up with this explanation.
You know, our opening drive, not a big deal, okay? So what we, you know, I try and make a heads-up play by throwing it out of bounds. So we punt it off, and it slips out of my hand. So then the next few, just costly, especially when we're down in the blue zone and we're about to score.
The Cougars committed 7 turnovers in the loss to Utah, and with a run game that netted only 11 yards, there is plenty for the Cougars to work on heading into the short week. And for the less calm among us, plenty to freak out about. But now that we've had a Sunday to cool down, Coach Bronco Mendenhall gives us a little perspective for this upcoming week from this morning's press conference.
Looking forward to improving our football team and a stronger showing than we had the other night against the University of Utah. Looking forward to executing at a higher level, protecting the football at a higher level. And I think those 2 things in general will make a difference. From what I've seen of Central Florida already, an explosive quarterback, certainly a capable football team, and another difficult test.
With such a depressing loss on Saturday night against the Utes, my last hope for any joy this weekend was to see if the Cowboys could get some revenge by beating former Utah star Alex Smith. Tony Romo would have to have a spectacular game, but in the second quarter, he gets nailed from behind. He would eventually leave the game with broken ribs, but miraculously, he would come back, trailing by 10 in the fourth until Romo connects with Miles Austin for the 25-yard TD. We are headed to overtime. And after a little pep talk, Romo would connect with Jesse Holley, leading to the game-winning field goal. Cowboys would win 27-24.
Good news for the Cowboys. Still to come on 11 News at noon. Family Fun, where you can take your kids on an afternoon adventure that won't hurt your gas budget. We'll be right back. Provo Canyon has many popular hiking spots, but in one in particular stands out from among the rest. 11 News reporter Brooke Davis took to the mountains this weekend.
4 miles up the canyon, and after a walk through winding trails, you emerge to see Bridalveil Falls.
Well, there's something for everybody. There's a pool for little kids, there's hiking adventures for older kids, and there's a nice leisurely walk for elderly couples, and anybody that wants to come here has something to do.
Today, the water. It is cold, yeah. They're just discovering getting into it a little instead of just standing on the side. So.
I love the mountains and I like nature, and so it's fun to just come hiking.
There's a 14-mile trail along the base of the falls where you can always find walkers, joggers, bikers, longboarders, and especially families.
We love to come here. We go to all the lakes and we try and go to something fun on the weekends and get the kids outside and running around.
It helps you get away from stress of school and everything in life, and you just get to have fun and get dirty and sweaty and enjoy the fresh air.
Brooke Davis, 11 News.
Welcome back to 11 Kids.